Hello there. Great Britain said goodbye to Elizabeth II for what felt like an eternity. With her funeral on Monday, an exceptional time comes to an end when the kingdom allowed itself the luxury of pretending that the world stood still. From today, when I'm filming this, the hard everyday life is back. Then the pressing questions will no longer be about the future for the monarchy or whether Australia or Jamaica would like a Republican president to replace heir apparent Charles as head of state, but whether Liz Truss gains a foothold and works through the long list of earthly challenges. The Queen had appointed Truss as the new Prime Minister 2 days before her death. While politics was dormant for 2 weeks, the problems have not diminished. In domestic politics, they range from inflation, especially in energy prices, to the chronic undersupply in the state health system, to the threat of strikes in the railway and post office. In foreign policy, from the war in Ukraine to conflicts with China, but also with the most important allies, with France to deal with illegal immigrants, with the EU to implement the Northern Ireland agreements. And the United States also looks suspiciously at the tendency of the Tory governments, first Boris Johnson and now Liz Truss, to breach their treaties. The new head of government is lucky that the change of throne has given her a grace period. Time casts a milder light on the contradictions as they rise to the top. Unlike Johnson, who is popular despite his brazen swindles, Truss can neither count on popular sympathy nor on a majority in the parliamentary group, which should support her cause in Parliament. She won the battle for party leadership with neoliberal promises, tax cuts and less government that are unrealistic in the crisis. Having come to power, she is now doing the opposite. She puts together an expensive relief package so that companies and private households can survive, but she's breaking promises here. Truss must now quickly show that she can earn respect, otherwise it goes down with her just as fast as it went up. Because of the internal conflict among the Conservatives, the opposition Labour Party is ahead in the polls. This also increases the pressure on Truss. She has to win over rebellious Tory MPs, partly with concessions, partly with demonstrations of power. In the background, Johnson waits for a chance to come back. So far, it's unclear why he supported Truss. Does he trust her to take over the position, or does he think she's a weak interim figure that he will soon replace? For Germany and the EU, the unstable constellation means they have to keep an inquisitive eye, prepare for different dynamics, and carefully weigh up which developments they are flexible to and which characteristics. A lot of what is happening in Britain looks very idiosyncratic and possibly doomed from the outside, but normal and potentially viable from a British internal perspective. The judgment as to whether Brexit was a mistake that the British will correct and how long the monarchy will survive can safely be left to the future. The EU must enforce the Northern Ireland treaties now. Here and now it's about solving practical questions of living together in Europe. For dealing with a Truss government, this means that the EU must enforce the agreements on Northern Ireland and the course of the customs border between the EU and Great Britain. Also because unexpected economic damage can threaten, and even a trade war. The British deserve thanks for their cooperation on security issues. They are reliable allies, especially in Ukraine, and have the most active NATO army after the USA. It is not in Germany's interest to bet on Liz Truss failing, but to wish Great Britain under whomsoever success, even without the connecting power of the Queen. But I'm quite sure we will see a lot going down before anything goes up. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.